International Public Sector Accounting Standard Ipsas. 46, titled Measurement, is a foundational standard bringing clarity and consistency to how public sector entities value assets and liabilities. In simple terms, it provides a single, comprehensive framework for measurement, replacing fragmented guidance previously scattered across other standards. Its primary purpose is to ensure reported values are logical and transparent, building road future pension obligation. This consistency is crucial for anyone trying to understand the true financial position of a public entity. Auditors, lawmakers, international lenders, citizens. The need for Pakistan to adopt and master Ipsas 46 has never been more urgent. As the country moves towards greater fiscal transparency and accountability, having reliable financial statements is not just a technical requirement, but a cornerstone of good governance. The current date, October 30th, 2025, marks a critical juncture. Ipsas 46 acts as a rulebook for answering the fundamental question, what is it worth? For public sector accountants in Pakistan, this standard provides a clear hierarchy of measurement bases: historical cost fair value, replacement cost of fulfillment. By establishing this clear guidance, the standard eliminates ambiguity and reduces the risk of inconsistent or misleading financial reporting. This is particularly important in a complex public sector environment where assets can range from massive infrastructure projects like dams, motorways, heritage sites, each presenting distinct valuation challenges that require a systematic approach. This walkthrough is designed to be a practical guide for public sector finance professionals across Pakistan. We will break down the standard into understandable components, explore its direct application within federal and provincial government structures, and address the real-world challenges that implementation teams will likely face by providing clear examples, actionable steps, and a strategic roadmap. The essay aims to equip accounting teams with the knowledge and confidence needed to navigate the transition to Ipsas 46. At its heart, Ipsas 46 establishes a clear and logical framework for selecting a measurement basis. The standard is not about forcing a single method on every asset or liability. Rather, it is about making a sensible and justifiable choice. The first core requirement is for an entity to choose between two primary measurement concepts: historical cost and current value. Historical cost is straightforward. It is the original price paid for an asset or the amount of proceeds received when incurring a liability. Current value, on the other hand, reflects conditions at the measurement date and includes several more specific bases, such as fair value, replacement cost, and value in use. The standard requires entities to select the basis that provides the most relevant information. Once a measurement concept is chosen, the standard requires that it be applied consistently. This means an entity cannot arbitrarily switch between historical cost and fair value for the same class of assets from one year to the next, simply to achieve a more favorable reporting outcome. Consistency ensures that financial statements are comparable over time, allowing stakeholders to track performance and financial position accurately. The standard does provide for changes in measurement basis, but only if the change results in information that is more relevant and equally, if not more, faithfully representative. Another fundamental principle of Ipsas 46 is the emphasis on providing information that is relevant for accountability and decision-making. The standard guides entities to consider the characteristics of the asset or liability when selecting a measurement basis. For example, for an asset held primarily to generate cash inflows, like a toll road, fair value might be the most relevant metric. In contrast, for a specialized asset that does not generate cash, like a military defense system, historical cost or current operational value might be more appropriate. The standard pushes accountants to think critically about the purpose of the information they are producing and for whom it is intended. Finally, Ipsas 46 introduces and clarifies specific current value measurement bases that are particularly relevant for the public sector. These include current operational value, which is the cost to replace the service capacity of an asset, replacement cost, and and cost of fulfillment, which is the present value of the resources required to settle a liability. By providing detailed guidance on these concepts, the standard equips public sector entities to measure unique items that do not have a ready market price. This detailed framework ensures that even the most complex and specialized government assets and liabilities can be valued in a way that is both meaningful and transparent for all stakeholders. Well, the primary reason why a standardized approach to measurement matters is its profound impact on transparency and accountability. When different government departments use inconsistent or poorly defined methods to value their assets and liabilities, it becomes nearly impossible to get a clear picture of the government's overall financial health. A road in one province might be valued at its original construction cost from decades ago, while a similar road in another province is valued at its current replacement cost. This apples and oranges comparison obscures the true state of public infrastructure and makes it difficult for Parliament's auditors, citizens, to hold the government accountable for its stewardship of public resources. Furthermore, reliable measurement is the bedrock of sound decision-making. Imagine a provincial government trying to decide whether to repair an old hospital or build a new one. If the existing hospital is carried on the books at its historical cost from 50 years ago, its value will be artificially low, potentially skewing the cost-benefit analysis. Ipsas 46 pushes entities to use current value measurements, where appropriate, which would provide a more realistic assessment of the existing asset's worth and the resources required to replace its service capacity. Adopting a robust measurement framework like Ipsas 46 also enhances a country's international credibility. Global institutions like the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and credit rating agencies place a high value on reporting that adheres to recognized standards. This can lead to more favorable borrowing terms, increased foreign investment, and stronger partnerships with international development organizations. It is a clear statement that the country is serious about managing its finances responsibly and transparently on the global stage. Finally, the principles within Ipsas 46 help in assessing the long-term sustainability of government services. Many public sector liabilities extend far into the future, such as pension obligations for civil servants, future environmental cleanup costs. Using historical cost for these items is meaningless. Ipsas 46 requires the use of current value techniques, like the cost of fulfillment, which involves estimating future cash flows and discounting them to their present value. This provides a much more accurate picture of the long-term financial commitments of the government, enabling policymakers to plan effectively and ensure that future generations are not burdened with unmanageable debts. For Pakistan's federal government, applying Ipsas 46 will be a monumental task. It requires a systematic approach, particularly for its vast portfolio of assets. Consider the national highway network managed by the National Highway Authority. Under Ipsas 46, the NHA would need to select an appropriate measurement basis. Since these highways are held for their service potential, rather than to generate direct cash flows, current operational value, replacement cost, would likely be the most relevant basis. This involves assessing the cost to reconstruct the existing highway network at current prices, adjusted for depreciation. That's far more meaningful for infrastructure planning than decades-old historical cost. At the provincial level, governments in Punjab, Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, they must apply these principles to irrigation canals, public schools, provincial government buildings. For a provincial irrigation department, the canal system is a critical asset. Applying Ipsas 46 means moving away from recording historical construction costs. The department must estimate the current cost of replacing the canal's service capacity. This highlights the true economic value and underscores the investment required for maintenance and modernization. Local governments, metropolitan corporations and district councils face similar, smaller-scale challenges. Take a municipal park in Lahore. Take a municipal park in Karachi. It generates no direct revenue but provides public service. Its value isn't captured by historical cost. Under Ipsas 46, local government might use replacement cost of the park's service potential, landscaping, pathways, facilities. For liabilities such as a loan to build a new water treatment plant, the standard would require measurement at amortized cost, showing the outstanding obligation and servicing costs over time. The application also extends to public sector corporations and commercially operating entities, such as Pakistan International Airlines, Pakistan Railways. For PIA, the aircraft fleet would likely be measured at fair value because there's an active market for similar assets. That gives stakeholders a realistic view of the airline's asset base. For Pakistan Railways, the track network fits a current operational value approach, like highways. Let's consider a practical example to illustrate the impact of Ipsas 46. Imagine a public hospital in Peshawar that was constructed in 1985 for a total cost of PKR 50 million. For decades, this hospital has been recorded on the provincial government's books at its historical cost, less accumulated depreciation. By 2025, its book value might be as low as PKR 5 million. This figure is clearly not representative of the hospital's true worth or the cost to society if its services were lost. Now, let's apply Ipsas 46. The accounting team determines that the hospital is a specialized asset held for its service potential, not for generating cash. Therefore, the most appropriate measurement basis under Ipsas 46 is current operational value, which is a form of replacement cost. The team hires valuation experts who determine that building a new hospital with the same service capacity, for example, number of beds, operating theaters, outpatient facilities. This figure gives a much more realistic view of the asset's economic significance to the province. The accounting entries would reflect this significant change. The asset account for the hospital would be revalued from its old book value of PKR 5 million to its current value. Let's assume the hospital is halfway through its useful life, so its depreciated replacement cost is PKR 1 billion. The journal entry would involve debiting the hospital asset account to increase its value and crediting a revaluation surplus account in equity. The entry would look something like this: debit hospital asset for PKR 995 million and credit revaluation surplus for PKR 995 million. Show T account diagram. This single transaction transforms the balance sheet, making it far more relevant. The benefits of this revaluation extend beyond the accounting department. When the Provincial Health Department presents its budget request, it can now point to the PKR 2 billion replacement cost of the hospital to justify its funding requests for maintenance and upgrades. The PKR 1 billion depreciated value highlights the significant public asset under its management. This data empowers legislators to make informed decisions about healthcare funding. It transforms the financial statements from a historical record-keeping exercise into a powerful tool for strategic planning, resource allocation, public accountability. One of the most significant challenges Pakistan will face in implementing Ipsas 46 is the availability and quality of data. For many public assets, especially those that are decades old, original cost records may be incomplete or entirely missing. This makes establishing a historical cost baseline difficult. Determining current values for unique public sector assets requires specialized valuation expertise. Military installations, heritage sites, complex irrigation networks. That expertise may be in short supply within the country. Gathering the necessary data to perform these valuations will be a massive logistical undertaking. Across thousands of assets, federal, provincial, local, another major hurdle is the state of existing financial management information systems. Many legacy accounting systems used in government departments are not designed to handle the complexities of current value accounting. These systems are often geared towards simple cash-based tracking or historical cost tracking. They may lack the modules needed to record revaluations, track different measurement bases for different asset classes, or manage complex depreciation calculations based on current values. Upgrading or replacing these IT systems will require significant financial investment, technical expertise, and careful project management to avoid disruption. The skills gap within public sector finance teams presents a third formidable challenge. Most government accountants have been trained and have spent their careers working with cash-based accounting, simple accrual accounting. The transition to Ipsas 46 requires a deep understanding of valuation techniques, impairment testing, financial modeling. A massive capacity-building effort will be needed to train thousands of finance professionals across the country. This includes accountants, auditors, who must be equipped to scrutinize these new, more complex valuations, and senior managers, who need to understand the implications of the new information. Finally, legal and regulatory frameworks may need to be updated to support the implementation of Ipsas 46, existing government accounting rules, treasury regulations, and audit mandates. These may need to be formally revised to recognize Ipsas as the basis for preparing public sector financial statements. Gaining political buy-in and navigating the legislative process to make these changes can be a slow and complex process. Without this legal backing, there is a risk that implementation efforts could stall or be applied inconsistently across different government entities, undermining the goal of a unified national standard. To address the data challenge, Pakistan should adopt a phased and pragmatic approach. Don't try to value every single asset at once. Prioritize high-value, high-impact assets. Roadmap graphic. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. Start with the national motorway network. Major power plants. Large public hospitals. Where historical data is missing, Ipsas allows use of a deemed cost. Deemed cost can be fair value, or a revalued amount at the date of transition. Auditor General of Pakistan should lead valuation guideline development. Professional accounting bodies should co-develop methodologies. Publish standardized valuation manuals to reduce burden on entities. Set up a national steering committee to upgrade financial management systems. Develop a standardized chart of accounts. Create Ipsas-compliant reporting templates. Avoid each department procuring separate systems. Use a centrally managed approach for interoperability and cost savings. Add modules to existing systems where possible. Or implement a new, unified ERP across government. Run a pilot in a single ministry. Or run a pilot in a single province. Use pilots to surface and fix technical issues before rollout. Closing the skills gap requires a sustained capacity-building initiative, led by PIPFA and by ICAP, in collaboration with the Auditor General's Office. Provide tiered training, foundational courses for all finance staff, advanced valuation workshops for specialized teams, high-level briefings for senior policymakers. Create an Ipsas champion program within departments. Seek technical assistance and funding from international partners and development banks. Establish a high-level task force with Ministry of Finance representatives. Include the Auditor General in the task force and provincial finance departments. Task force to draft legal and financial rule amendments to mandate Ipsas. Develop a clear, time-bound national implementation plan with realistic deadlines. Clear top-level communication, emphasizing transparency and good governance, will build political will. The success of Ipsas 46 implementation in Pakistan hinges on coordinated efforts by several key stakeholders with distinct and critical roles. Ministry of Finance, Federal Ministry of Finance, Provincial act as the primary driver and sponsor of the reform. Provide political will, secure budget for training and system upgrades, lead amendments to financial regulations. Finance Minister, Finance Secretaries must publicly champion the transition. Articulate importance for national economic management, position it as core to good governance. The Auditor General of Pakistan is a central player, acting as both a guide and an enforcer. Develop audit methodologies and valuation guidelines for Ipsas 46. Train auditors to assess complex estimates and set clear expectations for audit quality from the outset. As we conclude this walkthrough, the path to mastering Ipsas 46 in Pakistan is clear, though challenging. The benefits, enhanced transparency, improved decision-making, and greater international credibility, far outweigh the implementation costs. To ensure a smooth and effective transition, accounting teams across the federal, provincial, local governments should use the following short checklist as a starting point for their journey. This is not merely a technical upgrade. It is a fundamental reform that will strengthen the bedrock of public financial management for generations to come. A practical implementation checklist. Form a dedicated Ipsas team. Inventory assets and liabilities. Prioritize high-value items. Develop a training plan. Assess IT capabilities. Start with a pilot. This journey demands a collective and unwavering commitment from all stakeholders. The call to action is clear and urgent. Amend laws, upgrade systems, invest in people, and move forward with a coordinated national strategy.